To a lot of people, the most alluring things in life are often those that are off limits. If you are one of these people, then maybe you shouldn't watch this video because we're going to be taking a look at some of the most amazing and mysterious places on Earth that you will most likely never have a chance to visit. Number 1. Lascaux Caves. If super ancient history and art is your thing, then you'll love the Lascaux Caves. They are a complex of caves in southwestern France that is famous for its Paleolithic cave paintings. The caves contain 900 of the most perfectly preserved paintings of Upper Paleolithic art, which are estimated to be around 17,300 years old. They primarily consist of images of large animals, most of which are known from fossil evidence to have lived in that area at the time. The caves were discovered in 1940 and closed to the public since 1963 because it was determined that the CO2 exhaled by the visitors visibly damaged the paintings. The caves are now entered only once a week by one security guard for a few minutes at a time, so if you want to see it, then go into the security guarding profession. Also, I wonder if the caves come alive at night like that museum. Number 2. Vatican's secret archives. This is very Da Vinci Code-esque, but buried deep within the walls of Vatican City and mostly underground are the Vatican's secret archives, which is the central repository for all of the acts of the Holy See, along with other historical documents like state papers, John Winchester's journal, 10 techniques on fighting demons, and other official correspondence, some of which dates back to the 8th century. In the 17th century, under the orders of Pope Paul V, the secret archives were separated from the Vatican Library, where scholars had some very limited access, and remained absolutely closed to outsiders until 1881, when Pope Leo XIII opened them to researchers. Now, despite the name, you can actually view any document you wish because the archives are not technically secret. However, you cannot enter the archives. The archives have been estimated to contain 52 miles of shelving, and there are 35,000 volumes in the selective catalog alone. The only documents you can't access are those which are not yet 75 years old in order to protect governmental and diplomatic information, also to keep safe the whereabouts of the relative of Christ, and which members of your friends or family might be possessed. Among the archive's historical treasures, you'll find the 1521 papal bull from Pope Leo X excommunicating Martin Luther and launching the Reformation, 14th century transcripts from the trial of the Knights Templar, correspondence from Michelangelo, and an 1198 letter issued by the Pope calling for a fourth crusade to the Holy Land. Number 3. Church of Our Lady Mary of Zion. The Church of Our Lady Mary of Zion is located in Ethiopia and is completely off limits to visitors because it's claimed to contain one of the most important and probably the most well-known biblical object, the original Ark of the Covenant, which according to tradition came to Ethiopia with Menelik I after he visited his father, King Solomon. Due to the holiness and relevance of the Ark, only a specially chosen monk has the privilege of entering the temple, and no one else is allowed to lay eyes on it or even get close, which is good because we all know what happened last time someone laid eyes on it. Number 4. Ise Grand Shrine. The Ise Shrine, located in the town of Uchitachi in Japan, is a Shinto shrine complex dedicated to the goddess Amaterasu Omikami, which consists of 2 main shrines and about 150 additional shrines. The shrine is one of Shinto's holiest and most important sites. Access to the site is of course strictly limited. The only person who can enter is the priest or priestess, who must be a member of the Japanese imperial family. From the outside, little can be seen except a fence and the building's roofs. Now, every 20 years, the 2 main buildings inside the Ise Shrine are rebuilt according to the original design blueprints from over 1,000 years ago. This rebuilding tradition is part of the Shinto belief in the transience of life and the renewal that follows death. One of the main shrines is believed to house the sacred mirror called Yato no Kagami, which is one of the 3 sacred treasures comprising the imperial regalia of Japan. Number 5. Niihau, Hawaii. Niihau, the 7th largest inhabited island of Hawaii, Hawaii was bought by a Scottish homemaker in 1864 from the Kingdom of Hawaii and was passed down to her heirs. This island has no paved roads or stores or restaurants, electricity, and indoor plumbing, but has the only entirely solar power school in the country. The island was shut off to the public to conserve the native wildlife and culture and remains off limits today. The Coast Guard patrols the island to ensure that no landings are attempted and no one is permitted to visit without an invitation from someone on the island. Number 6, Poveglia, Italy. This place is amazingly creepy and probably the only one on this list that I would never ever want to visit. Poveglia is a small island located between Venice and Lido in the Venetian lagoon in northern Italy. In 1348, the bubonic plague arrived in Venice, and Poveglia, like many other small islands, became a quarantine colony. So basically, in the center of the island is where you burn all the dead and dying who were kind of mistaken for dead bodies. These fires would burn once more in 1630 when the Black Death came through. So this thing is basically a tourist attraction for all things that kill people. Now, things got even more creepy in 1922 when existing buildings were converted into, a mental hospital. This went on until 1968 when the hospital was closed and the island once again became uninhabited. Some estimates suggest that over 100,000 people died on the island over the centuries. Of course, this place has all the major ingredients for a haunted island, and legends say the island is haunted by the victims of the plague and war, and also a crazy doctor that worked at the insane asylum that butchered his patients. I mean, come on, every haunted insane asylum needs a crazy doctor. You know, this island is like the island of Dr. Monroe and the house on Haunted Hill got together and had a baby. Today, the island is closed to locals and tourists. I mean, who in their right mind will want to visit this place? And in recent years, Italian construction crews attempted to restore the former hospital building. I don't know why, but unexpectedly stopped without reason. Oh, and the Italian government is looking to sell the island. So if you ever wanted to own Chucky's dream vacation destination where Freddy and Jason both own timeshares, well, this is the place. Number 7, Area 51. This is probably the most famous location on this list, and you will most likely never be able to visit unless the next time aliens attack, you can figure out their invasion strategy on a laptop. Anyway, Area 51, a term first used in a Vietnam War era CIA document, is a military base and airfield that is known for keeping highly classified secrets of state. So what happens here? Do they dissect crashed alien bodies, produce lasers or particle beam weapons, test experimental aircrafts? We may never know for sure because they'll shoot you if you get close. Number 8, Tomb of the Emperor Qin Shi Huang. The tomb holds the secrets of China's first emperor, Qin Shi Huang, who died on September 10th, 210 BC after conquering 6 warring states to create the first unified nation of China. The burial complex is made up of a complicated network of underground caverns that were filled with all the things the emperor would need in the afterlife, including clay reproductions of his armies, family, servants, horses, and staff, widely known as the Terracotta Army. Since its initial discovery in 1974, over 2,000 statues have been excavated, each of them completely unique. Ancient writings say the emperor created an entire underground kingdom and palace, complete with a ceiling mimicking the night sky, but instead of stars, there are pearls everywhere. But all these treasures, along with pits full of terracotta concubines, have never been discovered. It is unlikely that the tomb of Qin Shi Huang will be opened anytime soon. Why, you ask? Well, to start, there are the tomb's booby traps. Despite being over 2,000 years old, it has been argued that they would still function as effectively as the day they were installed. And Qin Shi Huang's tomb is also thought to be encircled with rivers of liquid mercury, which the ancient Chinese believed could bestow immortality and would be extremely dangerous for those who wish to explore the tomb, as soil samples around the tomb indicate extremely high levels of mercury contamination. When I was reading the story, I was thinking, and this is completely stupid and fantasizing, but what if you had like the army from like the Mummy? You know, like the army from the Mummy movies? What if there was some Chinese version of the Book of the Dead and Qin Shi Huang came back alive and raised his army and these two armies battled? Who will win? Alright, that's so dumb, but just some random thoughts that popped into my head. And let me know, guys, which of these locations would you most want to visit? Thanks for watching, everybody. See ya.